Right to restriction of processing. Well, yes, as per GDPR, any user can always go back to the processor and say, please restrict, I don't want you to process my information for the time being, or maybe later on put in a right to object or right to erasure to remove it for always. Let us discuss about this right to restriction of processing in this YouTube video. You are welcome on my YouTube channel, where you see the new content on data privacy on a daily basis. Let's talk about first what is data privacy. My right to choose what personal information I want to share, with whom I am wanting to share it, and why. What is the purpose of sharing it? You come to me and say, this is what I want to do. Maybe it's some telemarketing or something. Take my information from me only if I want to give it to you, right? And if you have collected it from some other source, then also I can use my rights and challenge you on different aspects of my information. Could be rectification, could be objection, could be anything, right? And if you say that to accomplish that purpose, you would like to share my information with another third party, then again it is my right to choose whether I allow you to do that also or not. This process of you seeking my permission to use my information, to collect my information, process and share it with third parties is also called consent management. And the overall paradigm of me giving you this information plus keeping a control on if it is being misused or if it is being wrongly shared with someone is called data privacy. Data privacy helps me protect my interest through rules and laws so that my information is not wrongly being used or shared with any other third party. Okay. So what is this right to restriction of processing? Any user can at any time go back to the processor and say, please stop processing my information. This could be temporary. He may revalidate and go back and say, okay, no problems, give a proper consent. This is also possible when, again, on the multiple issues, like I find that my information that you have is incorrect. So I first use my right to information, get the information, and then I say restrict processing, let me revalidate, and then I say erase, I don't want it. Or I give you my proper consent. This could be information you shared with me earlier that got changed. This could be information you collected from some other third party source not known to me. The request could be verbal or written. Again, as a processor, processor has to define whether he is giving a verbal or a written permissions for that. Processor has to validate the request and respond and resolve the request within 1 month time period. Else, there could be complaints and litigations related to not answering the right to restriction of processing on time. The right can be used or the restriction can be placed at any stage of processing of information. You might have processed it earlier, but I don't want to continue to process my information further. Well, maybe when I see that the original purpose is completed, so I can tell you, please don't use it for any other purpose, restrict it here. No new purpose currently exists. As I mentioned earlier, there is an issue with the information. I want to revalidate. I ask you to hold on the processing for now and until we make this information accurate. And ideally, if someone uses the right to change, then you should in any case automatically hold on the processing. When I find that my information is being processed unlawfully, or when the proper consent has not been taken, you collected my personal information from a third party, so I can always come back to you and say, hold on, don't use it. And it could also be a pending verification of request to erasure. Someone puts in a request to erasure, you have to respond in a month's time. However, you think that you don't want to erase it, and there's a dispute between you and between the processor and the user. So the right to restriction should be used to at least stop processing the information until the issue is sorted out, or if it is required by law, right? And of course, even in right of restriction or processing, there's some emphasis given on children's information also. Key aspects: processor can temporarily move the data onto some other system. He can restore it when the issue is resolved and when he gets the permission again or consent again to use the information. He could ensure that the data in question is not processed. So that is what is important. It is not processed until resolved. And at some stages or in some cases, the processor may feel that the request is illegitimate, there is no inaccuracy. Suppose you put in a complaint of inaccuracy or a request to hold because of inaccuracy, and the processor does not find anything inaccurate, he might refuse your request, and you can go to the DPO of the company, or you can go to the court to get your issue sorted out. And it is for this reason that both user and processor need to ensure that proper documentation is done so that if there is any litigation, things can be proved properly in the court of law. That's what is about right to restriction of processing. In the coming videos, we'll talk about further more rights of users that are provided by GDPR. If you like my content, press like and bell icon. Share my video with your friends so that you can spread awareness about data privacy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.